What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Earl Shatter, and in today's video I'm bringing you guys a best class setup for the Spitfire SMG. And let's go ahead and get into the setup. We're running fast mags with extended mags alongside it. We do have the launcher to shoot down those UAVs, counter UAVs, choppers, any of that nature. We're running the acoustic sensor so we can be aware of the people around us and where they're coming from. We're running tactical mask alongside scavenger because of course we don't want to run out of ammo. And tactical mask is something I was kind of toying around with because using an SMG you don't typically want to be slowed down a whole lot. So I also run gun ho so that I can reload and keep my sprint full speed, which also helps me move a little bit faster and get ahead of the enemy that's firing at me. So when you guys are using SMGs at this current point or current state of the game, you're going to need every advantage you can get your hands on, as assault rifles seem to outgun the SMGs at close range some of the time, and obviously at distance you don't really stand a chance against an assault rifle at all. Especially with something like the Spitfire that has a high fire rate, it's good to keep those engagements close, keep your enemies, as fairly within reach as you possibly can, so that you can maximize the abilities of this weapon. It is super strong. It is an SMG, however, and SMGs are overdue for a buff at this point. It's only been a little over a week since the game's release, so I can say expect another, best class setup video in the future for this weapon once it does receive, once the SMGs overall receive the buff that they deserve. If you can manage to keep the ranges of your gunfights to a minimum, you will absolutely destroy the opponent with, obviously great recoil control is crucial, but you'll be able to dominate them with this weapon as its high fire rate greatly helps you shred through your opponent. For those of you who aren't familiar with the operator mod that this weapon does have, it does have a wildfire attachment, which makes this absolutely fire out of control. I don't have it unlocked currently at this time in this class setup, but I probably wouldn't recommend it to most people, as obviously recoil control will play a huge role in how you actually might perform with the weapon. So I try to choose the best class setup I think that will not only benefit me, but help you guys become better players as well. In most Call of Duty titles that I can remember, there's always an SMG that stands out as the highest fire rate, usually hard to control the recoil. If you think back to Black Ops 3, we had the Weevil. Even on World War II, we had the WAF 28. We had the FHR and Infinite Warfare. And now we have the Spitfire and Black Ops 4. And this gun is absolutely amazing. The recoil does put you at a disadvantage, or puts this gun in total at a disadvantage amongst the rest. But that fast fire rate, if you're actually able to control it, will put you at an advantage above your opponent, as the more more shots come out of your gun, usually the more shots that hit on target, the quicker your enemy's gonna die. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the way the attachments work in Black Ops 4, not every weapon of its class has the same attachments as the others, so not all SMGs have the same available attachments as its counterparts, which makes the Spitfire a little bit interesting, considering it has such a high fire rate and does have quite a bit of recoil once you're actually shooting it. It's strange that it doesn't have a grip available for it. You do have a quick draw, you do have fast mags and extended mags, you can put a sight on it. There's a few different attachments. It does obviously have the operator mod, which we discussed, called Wildfire, which gives it an extreme rate of fire. But like I said, there's no grip. For those of you wondering, I'm not running quick draw on this. Honestly, don't feel like quick draw makes enough of a difference when aiming down sight to really want to make it a viable attachment for me to want to use on my class setups. So you will see me only using fast mags and the extended mag, of course, with having that high fire rate as we've mentioned. Extended mags is extremely helpful, especially if you get into a gunfight with one or two people and then you have to quickly, maybe fire off at somebody else and try to save your own butt. It's good to be able to have enough ammo to actually cover it. On this game, people do take a little bit more shots to kill, as the time to kill is a little bit different than we're familiar with in the past. Therefore, the more bullets you have in your clip to save your own butt, the better. And not having a ton of more efficient attachments to add to your gun makes it an easy choice to run just fast mags and extended mags, and you're really not using up a whole lot of your pick 10 system either while running this class setup. Scavenger is a must on every single one of your class setups. Trust me, The last thing you want to do is be on one of your best streaks or even close to a nuclear, run out of ammo, and die trying to pick up somebody else's weapon, or even just trying to make something happen with your fists. You don't want to have that happen, trying to get somebody's gun. That's just not the way to go out. So make sure you're running scavenger, tactical mask. In this game, tactical mask does a few things. It makes you resistant to 9 bangs, concussions, razor wire, reactor cores, seekers, the Tempest fire, and the counter UAV. So it does help you with some of those specialist effects that we don't like so much, and make you a little bit more resistant, keeping you moving, which for me is a huge part of using submachine guns and actually having success with them, is not being limited or bogged down to your movement, being able to move quickly from one side of the map to the other, to maybe get your teammates back, to maybe catch that spawn flip, or just overall destroy the enemy team that you're playing against. At this point in the video, if you are enjoying it, do your boy Earl a huge favor. We do have a like goal of 50 likes on today's content, so if you guys would help me out by smashing the crap out of that like button and smashing that subscribe button if you want to find your way back to the channel for future content, I would really appreciate all of your guys' support. One bonus to this weapon having a super high fire rate, for those of you going for the dark matter camo or just looking to get all of your SMG's gold so you can unlock diamond, go for those rainbow kill streaks or rainbow camos by dropping the kill streaks. This gun might not be too difficult for you. As the gun has a higher recoil, the fire rate sends it up towards their head. But those of you that aren't able to control it as well, you're probably going to get a lot of headshots just spraying and praying with this thing, making it probably one of the more easy or less difficult SMGs to complete the gold camo on. So for those of you on the camo grind, you won't have to look forward to trying not to pull out your hair during the grind for headshots using this weapon. So you'll be able to get it out of the way and be done with your SMGs in no time, I'm sure. And you'll look back and go, man, that wasn't all that bad. Maybe this weapon just isn't all that bad at all. Honestly, like I said, I think the recoil control is greatly what affects how good this weapon feels in the user's hand. So if you're one of those people that maybe doesn't have the greatest recoil control, this weapon probably isn't going to be a go-to for you. However, after watching this video and seeing this gameplay, you might go out there, test this class setup for yourself, and realize you like this weapon a little bit more than you did. Or maybe you'll find out that it's a top 3 weapon for you. Regardless, I'm sure at some point throughout your time, maybe you'll be grinding for those camos. You're going to have to run across this weapon. And running this best class setup, I feel like, will ultimately be the best solution to you having the easiest experience when maybe just going for headshots, or even just getting decent KDs for the matches you do play while going for your headshots, or even just trying to complete the challenges overall. I do want to mention, when obviously grinding out the levels for the weapon, it will be kind of a pain getting those multi-kills while running just the regular magazine. So I highly suggest putting on fast mags at least as soon as you possibly can to ultimately help yourself out, because trying to spend the time reloading in between when you have that many bullets firing out of your weapon, it's gonna be a problem. You're probably gonna get caught with your pants down and end up getting shot, and you'll overall won't have a good experience using the weapon. As you guys just saw in the gameplay, the gun does dominate. Is it a top 3 SMG in the game? I don't know if it is, probably just because of the fact that it has so much recoil. The average player is probably not going to be able to utilize it to its full potential, so I wouldn't quite rate it as high as some of the others. Honestly, the Cordite's pretty good. The SOG 9mm is probably one of my favorites. The GKS is clearly better, has no recoil, things of that nature, but you do not want to sleep on the Spitfire. I was able to pull off this nuclear medal in this gameplay, and I think you guys will be able to do the same. Just because it has high fire rate and the recoil can be a little out of control sometimes, doesn't mean the gun will not dominate, and doesn't mean that the class setup won't work for you. You guys go out there, try this one for yourself. Let me know down in the comment section how it works out for you. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure you guys do smash that like button. We do have a goal of 50 likes on today's content, and I think with your guys' help, we'll get there in no time. If you guys are new and enjoyed today's video as well, make sure you guys do subscribe for more. Hit that notification bell so you guys know when things go live, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.